Arnold Allen, undefeated career. The Englishman has had an absolutely flawless UFC career. Allen is on an 11-fight winning streak and has defeated notable opponents such as Nik Lentz, Gilbert Melendez, and Dan Hooker. English mixed martial artist Arnold Billy Allen was born on 22 January 1994. Competes in the featherweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Allen was born and raised in the Suffolk, started practicing mixed martial arts as a teenager, and participated in a number of amateur battles before going pro in 2012. He made his professional debut as a featherweight in the Great Britain for a number of regional promotions, including a spell in Cage Warriors. Along the process, he was able to accumulate a 9-1 record in his first 3 seasons. Allen joined the UFC after defeating Paul Cook in 2014 by TKO. The father of UFC featherweight fighter Arnold Allen is Pacer Allen. He was a former English strongman who briefly made the switch to MMA. Pacer Allen competed in mixed martial arts 5 times, twice as professional and 3 times as an amateur. His major awards and accomplishments includes 1. Performance of the Night 3 times, top-ranked UFC featherweight. 3. Undefeated in UFC. 4. 9-fight win streak. With just 2 for 33 gone in the first round, rising star Arnold Allen knocked out Dan Hooker with a barrage of blows. In the battle, Allen delivered 49 significant strikes, nearly 25 per minute. With the victory, Allen improves to 18-1 overall and 9-0 in the UFC. At UFC Fight Night 69, Allen made his promotional debut on June 20, 2015, coming in for an injured Mike Wilkinson against Alan Omer. Allen won the bout by submission in the 3rd round after likely losing the first 2. Additionally, he received the Performance of the Night bonus. At UFC Fight Night 84 on February 27, 2016, Allen took on Yotsin Mise. He received a unanimous decision victory. In 2017, Allen and Makwan Emirkhani squared off at UFC Fight Night 107. The outcome of the contest was divided. In 2018, Allen was slated to compete against Enrique Barzola at UFC 220. On January 11th, Allen was allegedly forced to withdraw from the fight because of visa complications that made it difficult for him to travel. After this declaration, it was decided that Mate Bassett would take Allen's spot at UFC 220. Again in 2018, Allen and Mads Bernal squared up at UFC Fight Night 130. In the 3rd round, he submitted through frontal choking to win the match. With this victory, he was given the Performance of the Night prize. At the Ultimate Fighter 28 final on November 30, 2018, Allen was slated to take on Gilbert Melendez. On November 5, Melendez withdrew from the contest and Ricky Glenn took his place. In response, Allen withdrew from the contest on November 16 due to a cut he sustained while training. In July 2019, Allen took on Gilbert Melendez at UFC 239. He prevailed by unanimous judgment in the match. Josh Emmett and Allen were scheduled to square up in January 2020 at UFC Fight Night 166. The opponent was replaced by Nik Lentz. Allen prevailed by unanimous judgment in the match. Lentz later claimed that Allen's poke to his eye caused him to lose 40% of his vision. On April 10, 2021, Allen and Sadiq Yusuf squared up on UFC on ABC2. He twice knocked Yusuf to the ground and prevailed by unanimous decision. Talking about his next fight, which is versus Calvin Kattar, Allen 18-1, maybe the most misunderstood fighter on the verge of the UFC title shot. Since entering the UFC in 2015, the English fighter has gone undefeated. Prior to his gunslinging win over the Dan Hooker in March, his 9 consecutive UFC victories went mostly unnoticed. Allen is a quiet man who fought only once a year for the majority of his UFC career owing to injuries. Allen, who has earned Performance of the Night in 1/3 of his octagon appearances, sees Qatar's 3 consecutive Fight of the Night bonuses as a liability. Qatar 23-6 recovered admirably against Giga Chikadze in January after suffering a record number of hits from the Max Holloway the previous year. He appeared to be on the edge of a title opportunity until he collided with a heavy-headed, soft-spoken Josh Emmett. Most journalists and fans thought Qatar had gone enough in a 5-round decision over Emmett in June. However, the judges at the cage disagreed, and Emmett was awarded a split decision victory. Qatar admitted to losing, but asked the MMA judges and athletic commissions be more transparent. His average annual salary in the UFC's featherweight category is $70,000, making him one of the most paid competitors. He has won all 9 of his UFC matches without a loss, and his biggest paydays are still to come. In 2022, Allen's net worth is anticipated to reach around $1 million. Allen has reportedly made the most of his fortune through competing for MMA organizations like the UFC. Around $585,000 is the estimated total of his career earnings. When he triumphed over the Dan Hooker in his most recent match on March 19, 2022, he received his biggest reward. Another featherweight newcomer, Jordan Rinaldi, was defeated by Allen at the UFC Fight Night via unanimous decision. His entire compensation was $64,000, which consisted of a $30,000 base salary and $30,000 fight victory bonus and a $4,000 fight week incentive. Allen has a 9-fight professional victory record, including victories over former Strikeforce lightweight champion Gilbert Melendez and now retired veteran UFC roster resident Nik Lentz. He said about this fight as, "It's kinda just become where things sorta happen and I'm just like, again, it's very frustrating." The 27-year-old said, "I'm always in the gym, always trying to improve, so I'm not getting worse by waiting. I've a lot of experience for a young guy in the UFC as well, so I'm not worried about the experience. I got the experience, but I just want to get the fights and get going, so hopefully this is the start of that." That's all from my side. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to receive more compelling content from us about the MMA. Thanks very much.